If you want to be successful in business, it's not about what you do. It's about where so many solopreneurs fail is when they ignore that. The next thing you know, it's messing up their entire business strategy. They engage in what's called, but if you can't for whatever reason do this, which brings me to another business insight, one I had to learn the hard way. A few months back, I needed to buy a new camera. My old one was broken, so I definitely had a good reason to get one. But nothing about my decision making as a buyer was rational. I went down the rabbit hole of researching which brand and model to buy. Full HD or 4K? What kind of lens do I need? What's the best camera for videos versus photography? Should I go for a budget model, a premium or a high-priced one? Let's just say I made some tech bros on YouTube super happy by watching their videos start to finish. Truth is, I'm not into cameras. I don't care about the technical specs, the lenses or even the sensor types. What I do care about deep down is how buying a new camera makes me feel like. I want to feel like I'm doing videos like this one professionally. I want to feel like I'm investing in a high quality item that lasts a while and doesn't break 6 weeks from now. I want to feel like I made a reasonable choice given my available budget. And I certainly want to feel like this camera is the beginning of something great. So at the end of the day, I didn't really buy a product. I bought myself a feeling in form of a product. Now, the biggest mistake solopreneurs make when they're starting out is to assume customers buy their products for the product's sake. Let me put it this way. When was the last time you heard someone say this? I need the new iPhone because it's so much better in terms of quality, functionality, battery life, weight, or design than the model from last year. Unless you're doing unboxing videos on YouTube, the technical improvements are not going to significantly enhance your productivity or your life if you switch from iPhone 16 to iPhone 17 at this point. Maybe that was a thing 10 years ago, but not today. And Apple products are certainly not the exception here. This applies to products in general, and yours included. People don't buy your product, they buy a feeling. That's why you have to sell feelings at the end of the day, packaged in form of a product. Which brings me to another business insight, one I had to learn the hard way. You can spend all your day trying to be more productive, be more efficient, but stuffing yet another task into a half-hour block that's already overbooked isn't the road to victory here. The productivity gurus will never fail to cook up new hacks, ever, because it's their business model to come up with new stuff. It's like this entire industry around dieting. Every year there is a new diet that's the ultimate solution to who knows what. But dieting remains as simple as it's been 200,000 years ago. Want to gain weight? Eat more calories than you burn. Want to lose weight? Either you burn more calories than you eat or eat less calories in the first place. Just because someone calls it keto today or whatever doesn't mean the first order principle doesn't apply any longer. If you want to be successful in business, it's not about what you do, it's about what you choose not to do. Eliminate, don't optimize. Not cram more tasks in less time with productivity hacks. No, do less tasks in the first place. Only the ones that matter. That's the ultimate hack you ever need. And this is where focus comes in. Focus matters. Where so many solopreneurs fail is when they ignore that. The next thing you know, it's messing up their entire business strategy. They engage in what's called straddling. One customer wants to buy a white product, let's say. Another one wants to buy a black one. So the solopreneur goes, hey, let's sell gray. Or even better, let's sell all the colors. But instead of being happy, the customer goes like, what the hell? I don't want gray. And no one is happy in the end. Not the customers, not the business owner who does not commit to one thing. If you want to go deeper with figuring out how to create a solid business strategy for your business, you should definitely watch this video here. Focus matters. On YouTube, they call it niche down. You have to be super specific first before you earn the right to talk about anything you want. And the same applies for other areas of business and products. But, and that's a huge but, range beats specialization every time. This is not so much about individual products or topics now. This is about the solopreneur mindset and the skill set. The general advice you hear all the time is you should specialize in one field, one topic, one area. That might have been great advice 40 or 50 years ago when people had a single job their entire career. Today, being a one-trick pony is a terrible idea, I think. The world moves way too fast to be a master of one. Isn't the example nowadays that you don't want to be a legal assistant anymore because AI will make you obsolete? Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but we're working with probabilities, not certainties. And the probability that any one skill set will become replaceable in the future is pretty high. So I think it's a good idea to have skills in more than just one area of expertise. Just in case the robots take over. And no, there's no contradiction here with what I said before. Focus matters when it comes to business and strategy. But when it comes to the people behind the business, range beats specialization every single time. Simply because we're working on a spectrum and not on disconnected endpoints that are completely opposite. Now, of course, none of what I said so far matters if the solopreneur and the business move in the wrong direction in the first place. The hustle gurus will advise you to just do it, work harder, grind more, and get it done. But here's a simple fact the hustle gurus never tell you. Rowing harder doesn't help if the boat is headed in the wrong direction. Hustling harder doesn't get you where you want to go if you don't know where you want to go in the first place. It's the whole reason why people like this guy write books like that. And you don't need a clearly defined destination 10 years from now. That's unrealistic and way too inflexible. But you do need a rough direction. Like go from Seattle to Florida, not Canada, not Mexico. Where in Florida will become clear along the way. So start with why ideally, but if you can't for whatever reason do this, go for volume instead. Volume of action mostly. Because volume beats overplanning every time. Instead of overthinking and overplanning a project or a product, going for an MVP and iterating your way to the final result is a better approach than sitting on your hands, thinking about it. Any action is a data point, a learning experience. Thinking about it and going over scenarios in your mind only creates analysis paralysis. If I have no idea what I want to do, I can basically do anything and never be wrong. But I can always be learning, always improving, 1% at a time. If you want to hear more about this, and not just the business strategy part, but the mindset that goes with it, subscribe to the channel and definitely watch this video here that YouTube is suggesting to you right now.